What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to do a quick video covering which of the anabolics would be similar in the SARM world. But before the video goes any further, I am not a doctor. Do not do anything without your doctor's supervision. This video is all for informational and educational purposes only. And if by chance you guys are lab rats and need anything, check out the link in the description down below. Of course, Half Wiki is gonna have the best purity and quality you can find. And also, before we jump into the list of compounds, one thing I do want you guys to know is I do all the updates and informational posts on the Instagram page Half Wicked Labs. That's where I do all the Q&As that are live. So if you ever have a question, that is where you want to go. The number one and probably one of the most popular without a doubt is going to be HGH, or growth hormone, used by a majority of professional bodybuilders out there, but there is a much cheaper alternative, which is what we're going to cover. It's in the SARMS family, but it's not actually a SARM. It's a growth hormone secretagogue. You've heard me talk about it in many videos, but it's MK677. And when I say they are damn near identical, I mean it. Like, the benefits you're going to gain from MK677 is going to be identical to what you would get from taking traditional HGH, prescription even. But the nice part that is also a huge perk to MK677 over traditional HGH is the cost. Most people aren't going to be able to afford on their normal salaries, prescription growth hormone. Pinning all of their units of growth hormone all the time, maybe to be a pro bodybuilder or whatever their goals are, maybe just overall body improvement. MK677 is a fraction of the cost while still having essentially all the benefits you're going to get from growth hormone. So HGH into MK677. The number two compound we are going to discuss is Anavar. And which compound in the SARM world is going to yield results very similar to that of Anavar? We are going to go with none other than RAD140. Now, RAD140, of course, is very popular for good reason. A ton of lean muscle tissue aiding in fat loss, improvement to strength, basically what you would get from a moderate dose Anavar cycle. And I'd actually put my money on it that most lab rats are actually going to gain more results from an RAD140 cycle than they would from a moderate dose Anavar cycle. And then also another drawback similar to the last one with the growth hormone, the MK677, is Anavar is very expensive in the realm of compounds you can acquire for how anabolic it is. It is one of the most expensive. And what that means is when it's one of the most expensive is it's also one of the most fake, because most people aren't going to be doing it the legit way, going to get their prescriptions and getting it through their doctor. They're going to be going underground UGLs, and of course most people aren't actually going to be manufacturing it. They're going to be probably selling you like D-ball, something super cheap, and marketing it as Anavar so that they can increase their profit margins. So just so you're aware. Number three on the list, we are going to go with Winstrol, or Winnie. You've probably heard the term, very popular contest prep drug. Lots of vascularity, extreme dryness. Of course, you've heard the drawbacks of too much dryness with achiness in the joint. Tons of strength, explosiveness, DHT compound. What in the SARMS world would compare to that? Well, you just heard me talk about DHT. We are going to go with YK11. In the last couple of videos, you guys have heard me talk about YK11, and it's in the SARMS world, its chemical structure is going to be the closest thing you can get to an actual DHT compound. So Winstrol, Anavar, Masteron. YK11 is incredibly strong, and not only is it incredibly strong like a DHT compound, similar to that of Winstrol, it is also a myostatin inhibitor, and that could be a whole video in itself, but just look up myostatin. And YK11 has the properties to inhibit that, to allow you to grow past what you would ever be able to. Moving on to number four on the list, we are going to go with one that has been around since the days of Arnold, since before Arnold Schwarzenegger actually, is D-ball, Dianabol, which is a good compound. It's extremely cheap, which is a nice perk for a majority of people out there, especially lifters, because it's a good amount of gains, improvement to strength, more muscle tissue at a very little cost. So what in the world of the SARMS would compare to that of D-ball? I'm going to go with LGD 4033. I used the comparison before of the traditional D-ball with growth hormone cycle, that a better alternative would be the MK677 with the LGD. It's not only going to be cheaper, but it's going to be just as strong, if not stronger, than what that cycle would normally be. LGD 4033 has a ton of studies behind it, ton of strength, ton of size. If you're wanting to do a lean bulk, MK677 stacked with LGD for your lab rat is probably going to be one of the best bets. So like we were just covering, improvement in lean muscle tissue, drop in body fat percentage, could even be utilized in a cut setting, but very similar between D-ball and LGD. Now moving on to the non-anabolic on the list, ones that are essentially just for the fat loss, maybe contest prep, is clenbuterol, talked about all the time. You guys probably know if you've been watching me for a while, I hate clenbuterol. I hate it. Just because of the negative health consequences it has not just temporary, but also long term. It can permanently mess up your heart. And most people that are going and taking Clen, they're not actually doing it for what their prescriptions are. they're abusing it to step on stage to make up for a lacking diet or not wanting to work hard enough and burn enough calories. So they're trying to make up for it with drugs. So I'm a huge advocate against clenbuterol. I do not like it. But what in the SARMS world would compare to that? Another one that is in the family SARMS, but not a SARM, it's a PPAR, is cardarine GW 501-516. Which I'm gonna be honest, is essentially just a better version of clenbuterol because it's gonna have all the same benefits of improvement to the metabolism, dropping in body fat percentage, more cardiovascular, your output in the gym is gonna be absolutely insane. That's why it's banned in professional and collegiate level sport because it gives you that much of an advantage over your competition. But without all the negative like heart palpitations, the jitters of your hands shaking, the permanent heart damage. Like I heard you just do a quick Google search of all the negative potential things that could happen with clenbuterol and it'll probably steer you away from it, or at least I hope it would. Now, not to say cardarine comes, unscathed, like nothing possibly could ever happen except for everything beneficial, but it's at a much lower margin than that of clenbuterol while still having, if not better results than that of clenbuterol. So those are the 5 I wanted to go over in this video that you guys could maybe substitute out for your lab rats, try out, see how you like it. Once again, if you guys need anything, check out the link in the description down below. And just remember, if you need any updates on sourcing or questions, live streams, the Half Wicked Labs Instagram page is where I do all of that, so make sure you head over there. I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to watch this video, and I will catch you in the next one.